When you were a kid, trying to get your parents to loosen up on you a little, you were always lobbying for permission to stay out later on a Friday night. When you made that argument, you probably heard the standard parental reply that nothing good ever happens after midnight. Are you kidding me? That's exactly why we kept the pressure up, so we could be there during the wee hours. Well, it seems nothing has changed. As last week's Rhode Island legislative session lurched to its end, in the early hours of Saturday morning, there were a number of genies let out of their bottles. One of the least noticed but potentially most catastrophic of these trade-a-bill last-minute deals made Little Rhody the 5th state to call for a constitutional convention. Whoa, imagine that. My parents were right. The current call to revisit the details of the Constitution of the United States is being pushed by a national organization known as Wolfpack. Unless you're a Nazi submarine commander or a member of a lupine crew, that name can't instill much confidence. According to Wolfpack's national organizing director, Michael Moneta, who was on Smith Hill after midnight, the object is to reword our founding document to nullify the recent Supreme Court ruling known as Citizens United. That ruling found that government could not restrict the amount of money that corporations or unions committed to political campaigns, as that would be limiting free speech. So Wolfpack favors limiting free speech? Whatever. The real problem with a constitutional convention is that the whole document will be on the table. We know there's a move on to trim the First Amendment. Do you think the Second will survive unscathed? And what will that do to the Fourth Amendment? Or do you feel you don't really need all those freedoms after all? Look, there's a reason Rhode Island Democrats shouted down calls for a state constitutional convention in 2014. It's the same reason they voted this one in just a week or so ago. They like the restrictions on freedom contained in the Ocean State Constitution and want to add similar restrictions to the national version. If the total number of U.S. states calling for a convention hits 24, the world as we know it radically changes. Are you kidding me?